Hello, friends. Welcome to Dream to Done, the podcast for moms who are ready to discover their dreams and goals again and actually do them. If you've been feeling a little lost in motherhood, I'm here to get you off the back burner and start taking a turn for yourself. I'm your host, Jessica Erickson, a certified life coach and your accountability cheerleader. Each week, you'll hear tips and tricks on doing life with a few kids, interviews with inspiring guests, and real talk on momming. I want you to discover your dreams, even in the messy middle of motherhood, because you deserve happiness too. You will also see that a mom achieving her goals and dreams lifts those around her. You deserve to take a turn in your life without feeling guilty. I am always cheering for you. Here we go. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Dream to Done podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Erickson, and I am very grateful that you're here listening to this. I hope that today is going awesome. Kids are back in school and that you're getting to focus on some things that you have been putting off for a little while. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about my birthday books. I know I've mentioned them a couple of times on here, and I realized that you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. So I decided to make this one a little bit about birthday books and how I've done birthday parties. So I guess I should start with when I was a kid, my mom is amazing and a wonderful human being. And she does not do like big parties. She kind of doesn't get it. And that's totally fine. But a little bit of a byproduct of that was that I saw friends that had these like big birthday parties and did a bunch of stuff. And I kind of felt like I wasn't very important. And I know that's a me thing. That doesn't mean that you need to throw big parties for your kids. But I did realize when I was at a retreat, at a women's retreat, we were talking about how you tend to parent in a way that heals your wounded child, which is a real fancy way of saying if there was something that you didn't like as a kid, that you can swing it the other way as an adult. And so you will parent your kids from that place. So me not feeling very celebrated as a kid translated into me throwing these crazy extreme birthday parties for my kids. Really swung that the other way, let me tell you. So again, not throwing anybody under the bus. It's totally fine if you do not throw parties for your kids or want to do any of this. That's totally fine. But I really have enjoyed throwing these parties for my kids and with my kids. And we've had a lot of fun. And those invited have had a lot of fun most of the time. I just wanted to kind of give you a little into my process of how we do that. So obviously, when the kids are really little, I'm picking. So they can't pick, obviously, especially for like their first birthday. But I tried to make it something that kind of stood for them at that time of their lives. Like I had one kid who really loved blueberries. So we had a blueberry birthday party. I had one kid who destroyed literally everything. And so we had a Doctor of Destruction party, which was like a superhero party, but he was Dr. Destructo. So anyway, whatever the kid is into, like really into, we've tried to kind of go with that type of theme. Or when they get old enough, I let them choose. So we have had a lot of really fun birthday parties. I thought I might read you a couple of the things that we've done. So we've had blueberry, cowgirl, Cinderella, fairies, cowgirl again, but at a ranch, mermaids, carnival, paint night. That was really fun. Books, escape room, adventure, murder mystery, train, Paw Patrol, trolls, superhero, Legos, Harry Potter, Beyblades. Really excited about Beyblades. We, in fact, did it twice. Football, basketball, Moana, Peppa Pig, unicorns, pirates, and then bounce houses, Coco Melon, Minnie Mouse, and Ariel. And the last one that I did was a McDonald's birthday party. That was really fun. We ordered like 30 Happy Meals at McDonald's. It was crazy. So Anyway, you can have a lot of fun with choosing a theme. That can like even just be a lot of fun. So that has taught my kids some creativity, like getting creative with things that they have enjoyed and something that kind of represents them and what they're really into at that time in their lives. So with this, I kind of decided to get a system in order so that I would have all of the things when I went to make this birthday book. And the birthday book, let me tell you, is a book that has the pictures from their party. It has their invitation. I actually did like, because I was a photographer, remember, I did like a professional photo shoot of each kid on their birth, like not on their birthday, but like around their birthday time. So it had their professional picture. It had the group photo that I took at the party. It had a picture of the kid plus me and a letter from me. So each year they get a letter from mom that talks about how much I love them. I also put in there a copy of the invitation and their present list, like the things they got. Just because it is so fun to go back and be like, wow, remember you got that thing and you still have it. Or, oh, you really like didn't care about that at all, but I remember they really loved giving it to you. And anyway, it's just kind of fun to go back in time and be like, do you remember when you got that thing? And some of the things they don't remember at all. And some of them they will never forget. And it's real fun to look back and see. Also, keeping track of the guests' names. That's like been pretty easy when you're doing it in real time, which I've been trying to do recently. Doing it in real time, I know their names, right? And if I forget, I'm like, hey, kid, who's that kid's name? But it's been really interesting as I started in current time and went backwards. So right now, I'm finishing up with their first year birthday parties and their like newborn albums or whatever. But the first year ones was really hard to remember who's who. There are a few people that I remember really clearly and I'm still friends with, but there's some that are, whoa, lost to me. So anyway, it's just kind of interesting and fun. So I put a system together of all of the things that I need in order to make this book. So I got my list that I can just check, check, check. Yep, I've got it all. So then I will gather all the materials. I gather all of the pictures and dates and things and kids' names and the birthday present list. I get it all and I put it all in my book designing program. I get it all organized, decide which pictures are going in and which ones aren't making the cut. And I add my text to it, which is usually silly stuff like, look at us play this game with hula hoops. Isn't that funny? And then I add that letter at the end, which is the letter from mom. And then I just get it done and get it printed. So that's kind of the process. It got a little much because I do have 4 kids. So I had to create a Google Sheet to keep track of it. And that was really helpful, especially when I was trying to play catch up, because when you have like a ton of stuff that you need to do, it feels really daunting. But as I could start checking things off, I was like, okay, I'm making progress. I can see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel and I will be caught up. This is going to be good. So we had these really crazy birthday parties. So these parties kept getting like, they were pretty big. We did a Harry Potter birthday party where we actually got a train that looked like the Hogwarts Express, but like miniature size. It was one of those ones that you would like see at the mall. And we took like train rides around the neighborhood. It was so fun. It was like crazy. Another really fun thing we did was with the Harry Potter one, I took pictures of all the kids. Like they would hold the broom and then jump. And so I would take the picture when they were in the air so that I then photoshopped it all so it looked like they were flying on a broomstick in Harry Potter land. So it was really fun. Then let's see, there was another one. Oh, we've done these like really big cakes. So my daughter's Cinderella cake, like I had lots of people tell me it looked like a really extreme wedding cake. It was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But I had all these connections with cake designers because I was using them for my photography business for one-year photo shoots. So I was like, let's do something really fun for my kids. So we made these crazy fun cakes and we had backgrounds and I did pictures. And anyway, it got a little out of control. When I say I swung the other way, at one point, my husband was like, we need to talk about this because you invited way too many people. And I'm a pretty inclusive person. So, yes, we invited her whole dance team, we invited her whole school class and all the neighbors. So, it was a little crazy. And I was feeling really behind because I couldn't keep up with everything. So, I decided to ask myself this question, and maybe this is a question that you need to ask yourself for something in your life. But how can I make this easier? How can I make this process easier on me, on my family, on anybody? So here were a couple of things that I decided to make some tweaks. So, first of all, I stopped doing professional photos. I still took pictures of them on my cell phone. And yes, by this point, cell phones have gotten really good, but they're still not as good as my professional camera. But I decided we were going to calm down a little bit. And so, no professional pictures. We're just doing everything on the cell phone. Okay. I also, instead of like printing a really nice, gorgeous card and handing out all those cards, that was a cost that I didn't have to do. And sometimes it was difficult to get the cards to everybody, where a digital one is pretty easy. So I decided to take a screenshot of the digital invite and put that in their book instead of the actual invitation, like a paper invitation. For some parties, not all of them, I have gone with a store-bought cake instead of a professional cake designer cake. And there have been times when things have gotten a little stressful in our lives where we've decided to go somewhere else to have the party. So, like a trampoline park or, somewhere else to have the party so that we weren't in our home. That makes it a little bit easier. So then the other question that I asked myself is this still something that I even want to do? Because it was feeling daunting, it's feeling a little stressful, and I was like, is this even something that I want to do? And the more I thought about it, the more that my answer was still yes. I still want to do these parties for my kids. I still want to make these books for them. I thought about stopping when they turned 12. I thought about stopping when they turned 16. But I was like, you know what? I don't know. Like, yeah, they could help me with it. I, in fact, taught one of my kids how to help and make these books so she can help me. But no, that like I really still want to do this. I don't want to give it up. So there were some reasons why. Why do I still want to do this? Number one, especially as my kids have gotten older, I have used this as a teaching tool. So I already mentioned creativity. So it's creativity in like picking what they're wanting to do, picking what the theme is, picking like which activities they want to do and where they want to do it and how they want to do it. All of that gets creative. It's been fun to see that it also like can teach them budgeting skills. So when I give them a dollar amount and I say your whole party has to stay under this amount, or like I'll pay for the food, but the treats and like activities need to stay under this amount. It's been interesting to see how they start making decisions and budgeting, knowing how much things cost. It's also been helpful to like figure out how much things do cost because, we start brainstorming and we get all of these crazy fun ideas, but then we're like, oh, the train actually is kind of expensive. So if I want to do the train, then that means I can't buy the really fancy potion bottles. So that was when we got really creative and we found some really cheap potion bottles for the Harry Potter party. And my kids decided to make them into potion bottles by using some Mod Podge and magazine stuff. And they looked up like how to do it on like a Pinterest video and they spent a couple of hours making potion bottles. We also spent a few hours making our own wands. Like the Harry Potter legit wands are really expensive, but we got some giant chopsticks, some hot glue and spray paint, and we made a couple dozen Harry Potter wands and they were really fun and unique. We still have some of them. And so we just got real creative and it was fun to see my kids get creative and learn a little bit about budgeting. We also learned about compromising. So maybe they wanted to do this one activity that there was no way I was going to let that happen. So we had to compromise and like, well, maybe we won't do that, but we will get you this. So compromise. Also organization. I don't know if you've ordered a bunch of stuff from maybe Amazon or a McDonald's distributor, but sometimes it comes in different shifts. So making a list of what was ordered and if it came in and making the little boxes that have to go out for treats or whatever the fun activity is, getting everything organized for that. I put them in charge of it. Okay, here you go. You got to check everything off, make sure everything comes. Also teamwork. It has been so fun to see how my kids have cheered each other on and been there for each other. The most recent example is our McDonald's birthday party. And I'm not joking when I tell you that my daughter's really obsessed with McDonald's. Like she wants to go at least once a week. So my other kids dressed up as Ronald McDonald, the Hamburglar, and a McDonald's employee so that she could have this like really fun theme. And they even played tag where Ronald McDonald could unfreeze you and the Hamburglar froze you. And they just really were there for their sibling and helped out and literally like face painted their entire face like a clown for their sibling. Like that's pure love, I think. So that's been really fun to see them show up for each other. And then also like they've been really fun. These have been some of our most fun memories. I would say like our family vacations and birthday parties are the biggest fun memories that we have as a family. So, for those reasons, I decided we can tone it down, but we're still going to do them and I'm still going to make these birthday books. The other thing that cinched it for me was I caught one of my kids like looking through her birthday books one night and she looked up and she was like, "Mom, you really do love me, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." She's like, "Well, because you said it right here and you say it to me at night. And so it really, I know you love me." And I was like, "Okay, all right." So for her, that was like really helpful to see it in print that I have loved her since she was one. Like I have loved her since she was born. So she's like, "You loved me then, and then, and then, and then, and you still love me now." That's pretty cool. And I agree. I think that's pretty cool. So another thing I wanted to talk about today is mental load. And I will get to how these subjects come together. So I've been wanting to finish these birthday books, and I have had a whole bunch of other things on my plate. And I realized that like the mental load is a little heavy. And if you're feeling like your mental load is heavy, we've kind of talked in the last few episodes about maybe you don't feel like you have time and like, how can we find some more time for you? And how can we, get really specific and intentional with your time? Maybe it's money. Maybe you don't have the money that you think you want to be able to do the thing, like take the trip or whatever. So sometimes time and money are the two big ones that I run into with my clients, like scarcity on time, scarcity on money. But then there's another thing, mental load. So if the mental load is too heavy, it doesn't really matter how much time and money you have, you don't have the mental capacity to be doing extra stuff because you're just so stressed with the things going on in life. And maybe that's something that you brought on yourself. And maybe that's something that is just happening with your family. It might be a tough time for your family. Some people have asked me about my 2024 goals because I often talk about how awesome a banner year the 2023 goals were. And then people are like, "Well, what happened in 2024? Because it's 2025 now." And so like, what happened in 24? And I can say like I got off to a really, really good start. But then our personal lives started falling apart. We had a family member that got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And then we had a family member who had a stroke and passed away. And then the family member with stage 4 cancer passed away. We had another family member that got diagnosed with leukemia. So it was a lot all at once. And at some point when life hits you really hard, your goals shift. And that is entirely okay. Having all of these things happen did mean that my goals shifted. So instead of getting caught up and finished with my birthday books, which was the 2024 goal, I found myself creating funeral programs and funeral sign-in books. And instead of working on my kids' birthday books, we were just trying to put the pieces of our family back together and hold down the fort and try to get to funerals and doctor's appointments and figure out how to help these people in our family. And all of that is okay. And it's okay for your goals to shift. And it's absolutely okay for you to take extra time to finish your goals. One thing that this experience did clarify for me was that I absolutely do still want to do these birthday books. I still want my kids to feel celebrated on their birthday, and I still want them to have a tangible thing that they can look through that says how celebrated they were and how much I love them. And knowing that life is short, if I did die soon, I would want them to know and have something to remember all of those fun memories that we have shared together. So it kind of put a lot of clarity in that, yes, I absolutely still want to do this goal, and it's okay for it to take longer. Now, back to that mental load. With all of this going on, it took extra time. That's okay. So when people ask about the 2024 goals, I'm kind of still working on them in 25, and that's all right. And I don't always explain that to people, but I wanted to explain it to you to let you know that it's okay for things to shift. And it's okay for things to take longer than you planned. And it's okay to refocus. It's okay to take some things off your plate completely. It's okay to refocus and decide which things are more important or most important. And it's okay to make space for the things that you decide are most important. It's okay to cross things off your list entirely and just decide that that's not important anymore. One of the things with the mental load is that you need to clear the decks. If there is something that you want to do, that you want to make intentional space for, you need to clear the deck. You need to get some clean white space on your calendar, remove pressure, take all the pressure out of it, but you've got to clear the deck. And if you're going to do that, sometimes that means taking things off your plate, even if that's just temporary. And so, as much as it pains me to say this, I realized that this podcast is one of those things for me that I need to take off my schedule for a little bit, for a temporary amount of time. I'm going to clear the deck. So this is going to be my last episode for a little while. I will be back, but there are a few goals that I need to work on and a few things that I need to be for my family that I need to just clear some space so that I can do that. And so I hope that me taking a little break, don't forget about me, but I hope that that shows you and gives you permission to do the same. I'm so bummed because I even talked with my podcast manager and I was like, I think I need to take a break. And she's like, oh, shoot, you're making progress. Like things are picking up. It's growing. And I'm like, yeah, I know this is like not the best time for me to do this, but this is what we're doing. And I hope that that gives you permission to do something similar. That if you need to press pause on your kids' gymnastics class or, take a week vacation from work just to sit at home and work on something you want to do, or just sit around, that will give you the permission to do the same. So this is not goodbye. This is just, I'll see you in a little bit, but there are just a few things that I need to do. And I just need to clear some space for them. And so I'm going to do that and honor that for myself. And I look forward to seeing you again in a little while. And I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful fall. That the next month or so is just going to be so great for you, that you're going to go into the holiday season feeling lighter and knowing that you have time and permission and you will find the money to do things that you want to do that light you up, because truly, Mom, you deserve to be seen and heard and loved and valued, and do something that you want to do. Do something that lights you up. So I will see you soon, and I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Dream to Done. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much if you would leave a rating and review. It helps more moms like you find the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast player. I'll see you in next week's episode. I'm always cheering for you. See you next week.